see here. Okay, we are live right now. Okay, here we go. Live, let's do this. Hey everyone. Hey guys. Hey Demigod, James, Caton, Drops, Adrian. Hey everyone. Okay. Hey Ferris, and how's my day going? My day's going good. And thank you everybody for the support yesterday on the video. Okay, anyone who needs help, just send me an invite and I will help you. Ow. Hey bro, thanks for your streams and videos, are helping me through a hard time. No problem, Zach. Hey, I'm a Amethyst Dragon, how are you? I'm having a good weekend. It's pretty much over, but yeah, I had a good one. What is my favorite food besides sushi? What would be my second favorite food besides sushi? That's a tough one. Maybe hamburgers? But it depends on the type of hamburger. I just ordered a 30-30 lever action, Winchester 94. That's nice. Lever actions are great guns, but you know the thing that I've always found a bit weird is how, like, in a lot of video games when it comes to lever action rifles, right? It's like you just basically drop the rounds so easily into the the tube when you're loading it, because you have the single load, because lever actions you can't really load through a stripper clip. So when you're loading a lever action, for example, a lot of video games, it's so quick. You're just dropping the rounds in, dropping the rounds. But in real life, it can get pretty tough to press the bullets inside, and the more bullets that's inside the tube, the harder it is to insert another round. So it's not like a single second that you're loading in each one. But I guess that's kind of one detail that video games get wrong about lever actions a lot of times. Someone modified a bolt action into a lever action, huh? What is this, the Labelle rifle? Probably one of the weirdest guns probably ever made in history is probably the Labelle 1886, the French World War I rifle. It's in Battlefield 1 also. It's also in Sniper Elite. But that gun, the reason it's so weird is because it's a bolt action rifle, but even though it's a bolt action rifle, it has a tube loading mechanism. So it's like the loading system of a lever action, but it's a bolt action. That's what's just so weird about that gun. I know Pearson, it's you. Hey Patrick, back in Max Payne 3, why did Max spare Serrano even though he killed Fabiana during the organ hospital scene. Because Serrano had pretty much suffered enough, and there really wasn't a point to killing him at that point. That was it. Like, Max had bigger fish to fry at that point. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Did anyone invite me? No, no one's inviting me. I guess if no one invites me, then I guess I'll sell some of my own stuff. Let me just check. Am I in fidelity mode? I might be actually on fidelity mode. Oh no, I'm on performance, okay. Hey Native Mercenary, how are you doing, dude? Am I free to read comments? Yeah, I read as many comments as I can. What are the worst group projects that I've had in school? Well, I can tell you 3 stories. There's 3 different horror stories I have about group projects. You know, I'll tell you the shortest one. There was this, what ended up happening is that, we were doing a group project once in this one class. I'm trying to remember what class it was. It was, it was a security law class. And what happened is I got partnered up with this girl and this guy. And what we did was we connected each other to a group texting app. So we were using a texting app. I don't remember the name of the app. This was like over a decade ago. But we were using a texting app to basically communicate. And what happened was the guy stopped responding. So it was just me and this girl that were just talking to each other and just doing the project together. And that guy didn't even show up to class. So he just stopped responding to our messages. He didn't even show up to class. And what ended up happening is the second to last day, when we're actually handing in the assignment, me and that girl typed up the whole assignment, and then he basically came in and he's like, oh, I did my part of the assignment, let me add it to yours. And we were basically like, no. And he's like, what do you mean no? I'm like, you did not communicate with us at all. You did not talk to us at all. You did not show up to class at all. And now you come the second to last day and you expect to, add your part of the project onto ours. We didn't even review your part of the project. We didn't even proofread it. We don't even know if it's good. We're not, taking it. We told him that. And what ended up happening is we explained the situation to the teacher, and we told the teacher that, do not add his part to our part of the project. Don't do that. Like, we told the teacher that pretty clearly, and the professor understood it, and that was it. So, like, I don't understand pretty much, why people do stuff like this, but, that's the problem with group projects, is when you have group projects, that it's almost always, whenever you have a group project, you never have, like, everybody doing their part. It never happens. And there are basically there are two types of group projects that you have. You have either the group project where you have somebody that's completely useless and they're not doing anything, or you have the group project where there's one person that's slacking. It's almost, they might do some work, but they're still slacking. Or you have the one where they're not doing anything at all. So that's basically what I'll say about it. Bond Arms has a lever action AR-15. What? How does that even work? Hey OGBW member, how are you doing, dude? Pro is a snitch? No. Look, here is the thing is, and this is what people don't understand, is that not every, when you report someone, right? When you report someone, regardless if you report them to the teacher, the police, some kind of other authority, it does not matter. When you report somebody, there's a difference between reporting somebody and being a snitch. It's not the exact same thing. People think that reporting someone is being the exact same thing as being a snitch. No, it's different. The difference is that a snitch is someone that's part of something bad. And then what they do is they tell on the other people so that they get a lesser punishment. That's what a snitch is. So basically think of like, a rat, like, the mafia, for example. Gangster gets arrested, and what he does is he basically turns on all his other guys just so he gets a lesser sentence. That's a snitch. That's being a rat. So it's somebody that's already doing bad stuff. They're already doing bad things, but they basically just betray everyone else just so that they basically get a lesser sentence. What, reporting someone is different. Reporting someone is like, when there's something bad going on, you're not a part of it, and it's also affecting you. So that's what I'll say about this is, you know, you can say that, oh, it's a snitch that we told the professor we don't want to, you know, have this part, guys, you know, assignment as part of our project, but I would argue with you is, you know, why should my grade suffer because he didn't do his work? You know, why should he get credit for my work? You know, he shouldn't. So that's what I'll say about this, is that's what a lot of these group members do. A lot of these incompetent group members, they basically prey on other, you know, group members, on the kindness of their hearts, and they basically expect them to do all their work for them and not retaliate whatsoever. So that's what I'll say about it. I think Max should have let Serrano suffer for killing Fabiano. Yeah, and the thing about that is, I don't think that Serrano was ever gonna let Fabiano go. I don't think he was ever going to let Fabiano go. I don't think it was ever gonna happen. Morgan Freeman said it's best about the differences. Uh, what about Wait, can you explain a little bit more, Mo Bang? Thank you for the super chat. You don't have to super chat me again if you could explain a little bit more. Oh, hey Toshia. Yeah, and tomorrow I'm gonna be uploading the first part of Majima Construction, but I might suck at it because I did not lose Cabaret Club once. So, like, for the entire Cabaret Club storyline, I did not get defeated once. I literally went through the whole thing with just on my first attempt and just beat everything. The thing I would ask you guys, can you guys give me any advice for Majima Construction? Is there something that, like, I shouldn't do and something I should do? Because, like, Majima Construction, I know, is like a strategy game. And I really hope that I don't suck at it, because I'm pretty bad at strategy games, so I really don't, I don't know how I'll do when I do Majima Construction. I'll figure it out, but it's just... Yeah, Oblivion Remaster, Oblivion, I know, is the 20-year anniversary is coming up. Nico Bellic is so bae, because he understands grief. He also carries masculine presence and protection. I'll feel safe around him. Nico can do no wrong. Oh, Nico, thank you, Sweet Pumpkin. Nico has, you know, I think that probably out of all of the, I think that out of all of the characters, like, Nico is probably the most broken mentally, you know, other than Trevor, which... Trevor is broken in another kind of way, where Trevor is insane, but the thing is, even though Trevor is insane, Trevor still somewhat enjoys life. That's what I would say about him, where Nico Bellic does not enjoy life. You can tell, like, Nico Bellic does not enjoy life. He has, like, a very, you know, very negative attitude a lot of times. He's, it's just the horrible things that he's gone through. Hey, Evo, yeah, he is, Adrian. You're right on that. Johnny, you can argue, is a little broken too, but Nico, I would say, is the most broken one. Hi, Pro. I hope you're all well. I have two questions. First of all, will you replay Red Dead Redemption 2 before GTA 6, or at all in the channel? Also, have I played Rainbow Six Siege? I'll answer first part of your question first. Yeah, I plan on it. Maybe I'll do it in October. Uh, but I do want to get to Red Dead Redemption 2, and I want to play the story before GTA 6 comes out. That's one thing I do want to do. You're right on that. I do want to do that, Thomas Walsh. And about Rainbow Six Siege, here's the thing about Rainbow Six Siege. I bought Rainbow Six Siege when it first came out in 2015. I bought that game when it first came out in 2015. I still have that game. Now, here's what I'll say about Rainbow Six Siege, right? When the game first came out, I kind of liked it because because Rainbow Six Siege, like it's Rainbow Six Siege reminds me of GTA in a way. Not with the gameplay, not with the businesses or anything like that, but the thing it reminds me about GTA is it reminds me how much it just changed so much. Like how GTA Online, just think about how GTA Online changed over time. Just think about that. Like the game just rapidly changed, like with the Oppressor, for example, the Oppressor and the Orbital Cannon and that stuff, like it just changed the game so much. And that's what I think about when I think about Siege, is I think about just how much this game just changed over time, because when Rainbow Six Siege first came out, I remember how it was advertised when it first came out. I remember the original trailer for it, where it was like that hostage situation in that house, and it was advertised as a breach and clear game. That's what it was. It was, Special Forces breach and clear, hostage rescue. That's what it was, advertised as. Clearing out terrorists, saving hostages and so forth. But while it was fun at first, when it launched, what ended up happening is there's two things that pissed me off about Siege. And the two things that pissed me off about that game was that they abandoned the entire White Mask terrorist storyline. Like, they never explained who those terrorists were or what they wanted. They never explained that. Like, the White Mask terrorists were the main bad guys in Siege, and they never explained, like, what the ideology of these guys are. It never explained, like, what these guys want, what are their goals and stuff like that, what are they planning to do. Like, they never explained any of that stuff, who these guys are. And I remember they added that one story mission where, like, the college gets attacked. And it was, like, the only story mission that was in Rainbow Six Siege. Like, the college gets attacked with, like, a gas bomb, and you gotta go in and save them. And then there's, like, a cutscene at the end of it, and then they say this isn't over yet, and you're gonna go after the White Masks again. But nothing ever happens. They just completely abandoned the story. They completely just screwed over and abandoned the storyline. Like, I was really interested in playing the story in that game. Like, was anybody else interested in the story besides me? But, like, I really wanted to play the story in Siege. Like, I wanted there to be an actual story with, like, these going after these White Mask terrorists, and then they just abandoned it, and all they did was multiplayer. And the problem with the multiplayer, what I'll say about it, is the multiplayer, it was broken at times. Like, I remember people would play as Pulse, that Pulse guy, and, like, they would instantly kill you the second you respawn. Like, I remember Pulse used to be broken back in the day, and people would just kill, like, the second you spawned, like, within the first 20 seconds, you'd be dead. Like, it was ridiculous. And it was just so annoying. People found all these exploits of all these characters, but then what they did is they started going into this esports crap, like this ridiculous thing where like the characters were like wearing these ridiculous like skins, like gamer skins and stuff like that, like stuff that Special Forces would like never wear. And so they added all these ridiculous skins, and they turned it into some giant esports tournament. And at that point, I just did not like it anymore. I liked some of the breach and clear stuff, and I will tell you, when I play a game like Siege, the only thing I'll do in a game like Siege is I will play only the co-op, Terrorist Hunt. That's the only thing I'll play. I refuse to play the multiplayer. I don't want to play it because the multiplayer was just full of so many sweats, and the people on Siege are so toxic that even though Siege runs on dedicated servers, what these toxic people will do is they will DDoS the server itself. So they'll DDoS the Ubisoft server just so they don't take a loss, and they literally just knock the server out and then crashes the game for everyone. I've seen that happen before. It's really annoying. These people are so toxic. And so it's like when you do something like that, you're so pissed that you're basically going to DDoS the game's server. Like, that just shows you the toxic atmosphere that's in that game. Like, people will just headshot you, like, around one corner. Like, they'll make this little tiny hole in the wall, and they'll sit there, and the second, like, you walk through the room, like, you'll barely see them, and they're sitting in that little hole, like, prone, and they'll just headshot you instantly, and you're dead. And that's why I stopped liking Siege. I just did not enjoy it. If you were to ask me what Ubisoft game I liked the most, like the Special Forces game, it's probably Ghost Recon Wildlands. Wildlands is probably the one I enjoyed the most. So even though Division took place in my hometown of New York, the thing about Division I got a bit annoyed about it because everything was just so bullet spongy. Where Ghost Recon Wildlands, I liked it because I felt like it was an actual Special Forces game. It was like co-op, you're taking down the cartel, working together, exploring the map. So it was, Ghost Recon Wildlands was the Special Forces game that I really liked. I never got into Siege that much. I did play Division 1, and I played that game a lot, but I never got into Division 2. I couldn't get into it. Hey Pro, I hope you're well. I have 2 questions. Oh, I answered your question. Thank you, Thomas Walsh, for the super chat. What's your user? I need help with Doomsday Heist, please. Well, what's your name, Azu? Thank you for the super chat. Disregard what that person said about Nico Bellic. Nico is a bad person, and because of them, we will make sure he will rot in prison. Well, Liberty City Police Department, you don't really have a record on Nico, because remember that UL Paper wiped Nico's record, so Nico doesn't really have a criminal record then. Hey Pro, thank you Liberty City Police Department. Hey Pro, I'd love to see you play the Walking Dead series by Telltale if you haven't done a playthrough on it yet. I played through Season 1 and 2. I didn't play it on the channel, but I did beat those games. I never beat Season 3 and 4, so I could play that one day. I could do it, yeah. Hell Let Loose is the best shooter out now. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, Azu, well, I can add you, probably later. Later today, if that works.
You're, bikers, right? Because the buyer wants the product biked into the back of a
Is Tony Cipriani the most evil GTA character? No, that's Claude. Yeah, Claude's way worse. Damn, everyone's treating this like a Q&A. Well, I mean, people just ask me anything, can ask me really anything on the streams, and I'll answer the questions. The only thing I really won't answer is politics, but I'll answer pretty much anything else. In The Sopranos, whatever happened to that Special Forces guy Paulie and Christopher were chasing in the snow? They left afterwards. You mean Valerie? Valerie, there actually is an answer about that, Mr. Tiger. Here's what happened to Valerie. So, when Paulie shot Valerie in the head, he grazed him. He didn't, the bullet didn't go through, it grazed his head, so basically just hit the side of his head. You can actually, people think that, here's the thing is, because of video games, a lot of times people watch too many video games, and they think that, that a headshot is an instant kill. That is not true. It really depends on where you get shot in the head, but people can survive headshots. They've survived headshots before, it depends. The most dangerous part of the head where you can be shot is your brain. That's the most dangerous part of the head where you can be shot. But people have survived getting shot, like, in the mouth, the teeth. They survived getting shot in the ear, the side of their face. So that is possible. It increases the chances of your death dramatically, but it is possible to be shot in the head and survive. So not every part of the head where somebody gets shot is instant kill, like what movies and games say. So what basically happened with Valerie is, in that scene, Valerie, when he got shot in the head, people got confused, like how he didn't die. He got grazed. He didn't, the bullet didn't go directly through it, so he got grazed. And Valerie was ex-Spetsnaz. That was it. He was ex-Soviet Special Forces. And he was, Polly and Chris were in the woods with him. And so he is used to the cold. He even says in the episode that the cold is like the heat for him. The cold does not bother him at all. That guy, Valerie, was a pretty crazy guy. Valerie fought in the first Chechen War, the first and second Chechen War, and so he killed 20 Chechen fighters in that. So this is like, very elite, soldier. This is not somebody that's like, a pushover by any means. Now, what ended up happening is after Polly shot him, he got grazed. Valerie escaped. He hid from Polly and Christopher, and even though the reason he hid from them is because even though he's Special Forces, he doesn't have a gun, and Christopher and Polly are both armed. So it doesn't matter the training that you have. If you're going up against somebody with a gun, you don't want to go near them. So he basically avoided them, and he hid from them. And what he did was he stole Polly's car, and he drove off. That's why Polly's car was gone. What ended up happening is he drove back to Slava, and he told Slava about what happened. Now, Slava was very well aware of what happened, and Slava is based on Dmitri, so Dmitri in GTA 4. Dmitri is based on Slava. That's who Dmitri was based on. He even looks like Slava in The Sopranos. But anyway, Slava was very well aware of what happened. He knew that Polly and Chris tried to kill Valerie. The reason that Slava did not retaliate against Polly and Chris, and the reason he didn't try to kill Tony, is because he figured that it was probably Valerie who triggered them. Because Valerie has a massive temper. So even though, like, in that situation that happened there, when Polly and Christopher went to Valerie's house, I would say maybe like 60% of it was Polly's fault, but 40% of it was Valerie's fault. So Polly was the instigator. Polly was kind of the aggressor, but Valerie's temper also got the better of him. And so at that point, Valerie kind of became a liability for Slava. Because of just his temper, he's gonna, ruin business for him, because he was his business partner in the Russian mafia. So what Slava basically did was, Slava did not want to have, bad relations with Tony. He was making a lot of money with Tony, but he knew he couldn't keep Valerie around. He knew Valerie couldn't stay because of just the beef that Valerie had with, Polly and Christopher, that this would never work out. They would never be able to do business again because of that interaction. And Slava didn't want to kill Valerie either, and the reason Slava didn't want to kill Valerie is because Valerie was his friend, and Valerie also saved his life when they fought in the Chechen Wars together. So what Slava basically did was he paid for Valerie to go back to Russia. So he paid for his ticket back to Russia, and he got him like a place in Russia, a place where he could live, and he told him to stay there, don't come back. And that's basically what happened. So people were like confused on what happened to Valerie. That's the entire explanation. He stole Polly's car. He came back to Slava. Slava knew about what happened, but Slava did not want to start a war with Tony. So he basically just sent, Valerie back to Russia. And that was, the whole backstory on what had happened. So it was like one of those stories that was like never fully explained. But I remember like I read an interview about like the Sopranos directors, how they were talking about this, what actually happened. This was like many years ago, but that's basically the backstory and what ended up happening to him. I know I explained a little bit, but that's one of the things. People are like so confused about what happened to Valerie and stuff like that, but that's the entire explanation there. Is, there's all these YouTubers that are doing all these, clickbait, oh, this is what happened to Valerie, this is where he went and stuff like that. No, it's pretty much a clear answer. He went back to Russia. That's what happened. He stole Polly's car. He survived the gunshot. That was pretty much the backstory on it. I noticed from the morning of his time zone, Pat played 5M. Yes, I did play 5M. I played it yesterday. It was the first time that I played 5M. I don't think I'll be playing 5M again because I'm just not into it. I'm just much more into GT Online. But I played with my friend Wanted. If you know Wanted, he's a GTA YouTuber. And me and Wanted were recording a video. I don't want to spoil what it's for, so I can't really talk about that. The only thing I'll say is that Wanted's video of me will probably be out in like, a few months. Maybe like 1 or 2 months. But we did have a bunch of fun on that. I hope I answered your question there, Mr. Tiger. How often do you use Reddit? Never. Almost never. Sometimes I'll have, like, Reddit articles pop up. Like, I'll be looking up something, and then, like, there'll be a Reddit article, and I'll click on it just to, like, see what people said. But almost never. Like, I don't even have a Reddit account. I don't even have one. So, like, that's... I don't really use it. Am I alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. When do you plan on doing your next GTA 4 stream? Well, GTA 4 anniversary is coming up in a month and a half. Yeah. Sometimes I do not like your opinions. That's fine, Shiny Knight. Not everyone has to agree with everyone. That's it. And let me, yeah, not everyone has to agree with everyone. I never knew Dimitri was based on Slava. Yes, he is. Dimitri is based on Slava. And also, Bulgarin was actually voiced by Valerie's actor. Maybe one day, Abrams. I haven't ever been really that good at strategy games. I'm much more better as playing as a commander in Hell Let Loose, if that counts as strategy. But it's not a direct, like, strategy game, but, yeah. I thought Kenny Petrovich is stronger than Bulgarin. Well, Petrovich is the strongest Mafia boss in Liberty City, but Bulgarin is a stronger boss outside of Liberty City. How consistent have you been in the gym lately? Went 2 times in the last week. I might go later tonight, but if I'm too exhausted, I'll just go tomorrow. What about War Thunder? I played the tank warfare. I did enjoy the tank warfare in War Thunder. I don't know, NBA. Do you have any advice on eventually getting bored while grinding? It's my downfall. Yes. Whatever you do, don't play alone. Because if you play by yourself, I'm telling you, you are going to get bored out of your mind. That's it. And I will tell you something. GTA Online, I like this game. This is my favorite multiplayer game. But if I played this game by myself all the time, I would be bored out of my mind. If I'm playing with my friends, and I'm also doing a live stream, and I'm talking to you guys, so it's fun. But it's if I was to play this by myself, I'd get pretty bored. Same thing for Red Dead. So that's what I'll say is don't ever play by yourself. You know, playing with friends one of the best ways to not get bored. Hey Gon, how are you? Dimitri lore video will be sick. I already did do a Dimitri lore video. I did one. Let me actually I did a whole character analysis on Dimitri. Let me actually put that into the chat so you can see it. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go.
We gonna make this sale? Okay. We got the coke in your saddlebags. Just ride over and make the drop.
Okay, there's my Dimitri video. I put it in the pinned comment. Anyone wants to check it out. The new Halloween game, I don't know, Steph. I haven't been too much into those type of games. Oh, crap. Your lore videos are the best. Pro, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Sick, man. I'm gonna check it out. I really appreciate your time and effort. Thank you, Travis. Sales are going good. I'm not really going for money. I'm just helping people. Hey, Pro. Glad you're doing well mentally. And, may I join your session? Yeah, you can join, King Will. Thank you for the super chat. Terrified if Trevor steps foot in Liberty City, we'll make sure our snipers will watch him, over. Playing co-op games by yourself can be so boring. It can, Isaiah. Do you think Nico should have killed Bulgrin? No, I thought it was actually a little bit more interesting to make, Bulgrin, Luis's antagonist. Well, that's if you did the deal ending, William. Do I really need the mask for live? Well, not really, but it's like an art site, right? Yeah, Kirsten, I think, yeah.
Sorry, but no.
Did you see the video, the clip of the oil raining in the sky after a refinery was blown up in Tehran? The sky looked like something gonna fall out. No, I didn't see that clip.
No, sorry.
Crap. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Can't handle the heat, my friend? Okay, leave it with creepy Uncle Lester.
What? Why do I think what? The mask makes my streams more interactive? Because I do something different on my streams where I dress up as like the characters. You know, not a lot of YouTubers do stuff like that. My total net worth of my character, it's $1,300,000,000. I thought you were gonna land in that pool. It was close. It was. I gotta do a playthrough of Vice City Next Gen this year. The when they runs on the GTA 4 engine, I gotta do that. The mask is cool, thank you. Well, Nico did suffer because of Bulgarin, sure, but it was, but here's the thing about this. You can make the argument that Luis suffered more than Nico from Bulgarin. You can make maybe the argument Nico suffered over time because Nico was driven out of Europe because of Bulgarin. But in GTA 4, like, in GTA 4, there's only really one time where Bulgarin tries to kill Nico other than the betrayal of Dimitri, and that was when Paki and Nico are trying to get Gracie, exchange Gracie for the diamonds, but that was because he was there to go after Luis. Oh. Does that work with the oh, I could Liberty City Police Department. You know what I also really want to install? I really want to install the tsunami mod on GTA 4 where like Liberty City gets hit by a giant tsunami. I do want to install that. I thought that would be funny. Like, imagine like I make a video, can I go bowling with Roman during a tsunami? And stuff like that. That would my favorite movie besides Scarface, The Equalizer. How fast can I run a mile? I've never really tested myself on that. But I can tell you that I usually don't sprint. Sprinting, I usually don't do it. I usually jog. That's what I do. So I really haven't tested myself as full on sprinting, but I have jogged. But basically, I've like improved my stamina so much when it comes to like running and jogging and stuff like that, because I started like using the treadmill like close to like a year ago, and when I started using the treadmill, I remember my goal was to try to burn 500 calories on it, and it took me about like an hour to burn 500 calories. But then what happened is I over like the next couple months, it took me like 50 minutes to burn 500 calories, and then after that it was like 45 minutes, and my best record is, I think it's 500 calories burned in 38 minutes. I think that was my best record on the treadmill, but I'm trying to get it down to where I can do it in 30 minutes. So that's my goal next. Did I run track in high school? No. Hey Pat, I would like to join your lobby, but I can't because I'm in the middle of moving into my old room. My TV and PS5 is off. Okay, that's fine, Brandon. Join whenever you want, dude. Thank you for the super chat. Who do I think is the most powerful Italian mobster, and what makes them the most powerful? Well, in America, it was Al Capone, but the thing about Al Capone is Al Capone's mafia, the Chicago outfit wasn't really an Italian mafia. It really wasn't. So that's what's so confusing about it, because here's the thing about the Chicago outfit. The Chicago outfit was run by Al Capone, who, yes, is of Italian background. But the thing about the Chicago outfit is the Chicago outfit had a lot of different guys in it. There was a lot of different, guys from different nationalities in it. So the Chicago outfit is probably the most powerful mafia in American history. Is the Chicago outfit, but it was not like the traditional, mafias that you have in like New York, where it's all you have to be, Italian, Sicilian bloodline, stuff like that. It's not like that. It was very different in how the Chicago outfit ran. Pro, I meant fictional. Oh, fictional. Fictional, most powerful mafia that's fictional? Well, when you... okay, so you're talking specifically Italian mafia. Okay, the most powerful fictional Italian mafia? The Corleone family. Yeah, Corleone family. Definitely then. What do I know about Pablo Escobar? I know that he was the largest, probably cartel boss in history. It was probably Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar was extremely powerful. He had, all of Colombia had feared him. Thank you, Caliber. Do you think the U.S. government might bring back the draft? I really don't want to fight in a war because some politicians can't keep their mouths shut. Look, I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think that it's gonna happen, but here's the thing is, even if a draft was to happen, right? Like, God forbid, if there was a draft to happen, like this worst case scenario, which I don't think is gonna happen, but if it did, imagine people getting drafted to go and fight, like, an overseas conflict in Iran. Like, most Americans would just say flat out no. Like, no. Like, even risking jail time, a lot of Americans would just risk jail time. Not doing stuff like that. So, what Muhammad Ali, what he pulled when he got drafted, to go to fight in Vietnam, and he basically said, like, no, I'm not doing this, and then he went to jail. He said, I'd rather go to jail than go fight in Vietnam. That is, you would have that same exact thing with Muhammad Ali, but you would have that on a massive scale, like probably millions of people. So, and the U.S. government, I'm pretty sure, knows this very well, that something like this would happen. So I don't think that draft is going to come back. I would not, worry about it. But I do agree with you that I'm pissed off, the government and just these stupid politicians that are constantly dragging us into conflicts overseas. I wish we could only just take care of our country and not send money to other countries and get involved in other countries' affairs. But it's, U.S. government has been doing that for a long time, unfortunately. I'm a gangster, not you. That's the line Sammy says that to Gordon Ramsay in Kitchen Nightmares. Almost to this one here coming up. Pablo built his own prison? That I didn't know. Yeah, no, that I didn't know. Politicians from both parties are a joke. Oh, I agree with you, Isaiah. Yeah, I'm with you there on that, Isaiah. What do I know about the nothing? What kind of question is that? Did you know that Rockstar Games unlisted GTA 5 Legacy? You can only buy GTA 5 Enhanced. Well, I bought GTA 5 for the on PC the other day so I could play 5M of Wanted, and I was able to install it on the Legacy. Oh, you guys see that? Wasn't that good there? Can I make a video about the bad things Ultor has done? Yes, but what I want to do, OGB member, is I want to do like a video one day talking about like what Ultor's goals is, what Ultor is trying to do. That was epic. Well, thank you. My Argentinian Mauser is coming in 4 days. Oh, those bolt-action rifles are always a lot of fun. In the episode Gordon Ramsay in Burger Kitchen, how was the Wright the owner or the chef? I was thinking it was the chef is right and was right fire him. Okay, so the backstory behind that whole episode, that entire episode was so depressing. Like the Burger Kitchen one. So basically, the backstory on that is that the guy's parents, stole his money, and they used his money to basically open up a burger restaurant. And the guy didn't want to press charges against his parents because those are his parents. So even though they stole his money and they used his money to open up a burger restaurant, he didn't want to press charges against them because those were his parents. But what they did was they guilt-tripped him into running the burger restaurant even though he didn't want to run the burger restaurant. And that was like, a really messed up thing is that, parents took advantage of that guy. And it was just so messed up. But the chef in the restaurant, the chef knew how to cook really good hamburgers. And I remember Gordon Ramsay, he knew that. He saw that the chef was talented and he knew how to cook. But the problem is that he was limited by the owners. The owners were just, really narcissistic, and they wouldn't let him cook how he wanted to. And when Gordon actually let him cook a burger how he wanted to, it was excellent. It was perfect. Gordon gave the burger 9 out of 10. But the reason the guy ended up quitting is because the manager still complained about it. The manager still complained about his cooking and said, no, you have to go back the old way. And the chef eventually got pissed and basically said, that's it, I'm done. And he just walked out. I'm surprised Gordon didn't offer that guy a job though, because that guy was actually a pretty good cook. But that was that episode was just so depressing, where it was like it was a different kind, like Amy's Baking Company. When you watch Amy's Baking Company, it's like just chaos. Like the entire episode is just chaos. But like Burger Kitchen was just depressing. Like that whole episode was just depressing. No, I have it, Liberty City Police Department. I have Enhanced and Legacy. What videos do you watch on Forgotten Weapons? I've watched a lot of his videos on Forgotten Weapons. Mark II is trash. Oh man, that's great. That's a great one. Wasn't the father's dad a part of some crime organization? No, you're thinking about. I think you're thinking about Sammy in Kitchen Nightmares, because Sammy bragged about how he was. Because Sammy is from outside the U.S. Because Sammy. I'm trying to remember what country Sammy was from. Sammy was from Lebanon or Israel. I don't remember what country he was from. I just know it was either Lebanon or Israel that he was from. But then he lived in Germany for some time, and then he bragged to Gordon Ramsay. And he told Gordon Ramsay, oh, I used to be part of the German mafia. Like he bragged to Gordon Ramsay about that. Like he thought like it was some kind of accomplishment. So that's why I think you're thinking of Sammy. That when you're thinking of that. No, Sammy was out of control. Yeah, he was a massive hothead. Yeah, I'll probably give it a try, Shiny Knight. It was the son who fired the chef, and he demands $1,000. Was that right? Give him yet money? I don't think he fired the chef. I think the chef just quit on his own. I don't think the son was part of that when that happened. I remember that episode, Brandon. I think we're thinking of something else. 2 different episodes. Which scene was that again, Aaron? How was my day today? My day was good, Justin. How are you doing, dude? Thank you for being a member of my channel for 2.5 years. Thanks, man. What's the definition of Mafia, Triad, Yakuza, and Bratva? Mafia can really be anything, but it's typically associated with Italians. Mafia is an Italian word. The Triads are the Chinese organized crime. The Bratva are the Russian organized crime. Bratva, I think, means brotherhood in Russian, and then there's also Yakuza, which is the Japanese organized crime. Yeah, but which scene specifically in that are you talking about, Aaron? Yakuza is both Japanese and Korean Japanese. Huh, really? I always assumed Yakuza was just, Japanese. They were the same episode. I probably forgot the episodes. Well, I don't know. I gotta watch it again. I know Gordon Ramsay, he stopped doing Kitchen Nightmares because he got so much food poisoning. That's why he stopped doing it. Yardis are Jamaican. Yes, they are. Yep. Well, yeah, it was just chaotic and it was just chaotic in Mexico with, after the death of Mencho. But here's the thing is that killing a cartel boss like Mencho is not going to work because you need to take out the entire organization. Like you need to take out all the captains, lieutenants, the sicarios, like those guys. You need to take them out, like the leadership of the thing, and then the whole thing will just collapse. They'll have no leaders left. But it's it's just killing Mencho because then there's a whole chain of command. There's another guy's gonna take power afterwards. Yeah, you can, Alexander. No, no, Pab. GTA Online is pretty much done this year. In June or July, we're gonna get our DLC, and it's gonna be the final DLC. So in June, July, we're gonna get another DLC, but it's going to be finishing up the Mr. Faber storyline. So it's gonna be finally, you know, it's killing off Mr. Faber, and that's what it's gonna be. But that's pretty much gonna be it.
That's
Well, what's wrong, Caden? Don't I get bored of playing this game? Not really. If I'm, you know, talking to you guys, reading your comments, not really. But which scene specifically are you talking about in it, Aaron? No, I haven't heard of that game. It's Nardo. That would make no sense, Liberty City Police Department. It really wouldn't make sense for them to update GTA Online after GTA 6 comes out, because they're gonna want to focus everything on GTA 6, and they're gonna want people playing GTA 6. But Aaron, what episode are you talking about? That's what I'm asking you. Which episode specifically are you talking about? Like, what scene? What happened exactly? Okay. 1 kilometer left here. We got this. Oh. Well, thanks, General. Are you talking about the scene where he took his daughter away, Aaron? I didn't time you out, Zach. Yes, I gotta play the Uncharted games one day. Do a playthrough of it.
cocksucker! Shit! Oh God!
Well, I'm sorry, Aaron. I don't think I remember that scene. Yeah, November 19. We got about 8 months. 8 months until GTA 6 comes out. 8 months. Can you believe that, guys?
And
Is YouTube your full-time job now? In a way, I guess. I do, I have 2 rental properties I run also. As a Miami area resident, I'm pumped. Let me ask you something then, Nonstops. What did you think of Vice City? Did you think that Vice City was accurate towards the map of Miami or not? On top of Rogue Trooper, would I also play Judge Dredd? I don't know that game, Zach. Why do you think many people don't play the medic in Hell Let Loose? I've been playing a lot more Hell Let Loose recently, and I've barely see them because people don't want to be running around reviving people. They want to kill. That's it. But what they don't understand is that Hell Let Loose is a team-based game. That's what it is. It is specifically a team-based game. I've run as the medic a lot of times too. So I've played as the medic too before. It's pretty accurate. I'd say it's the most accurate of the main cities in the 3D universe. Oh, okay. Hey, Sebi. Hey, hey, Claren, how are you doing, dude? Okay, oh, we're not selling anything yet. Okay, he disbanded the MC. Does anybody else need help selling anything? Anyone else need help selling anything? Send me an invite, I'll help you out. I know you like this outfit, but if you wear it, you'll become a target for tryhards and griefers. What? You mean my hockey mask outfit? This? You want to know something crazy, guys? Whenever I wear this outfit in public sessions, people recognize me all the time. So, like, they don't even recognize me by my PSN, but they just recognize me by this outfit. So if I'm wearing this outfit in a lobby, people will recognize me. But if I'm just, you know, dressed as like a biker, for example, riding around a motorcycle, barely anyone recognizes me. So it's like people recognize me primarily because of my outfit. We need a real-life CJ to clean the streets of dealers, huh? Did the Nazis primarily target ethical Jews or religious Jews? Because every time I've heard the word Jewish, I don't know if they mean religious or ethical. The Nazis would target anyone that they believed had Jewish heritage. Anyone. So it did not it did not, even if somebody was not Jewish anymore, if somebody like converted to Christianity, for example, they would still target them. They would still kill them. So anyone that had any kind of Jewish heritage would they would go after them. Thank you, Jesus, for the super chat. The Nazis also the Nazis would also go after Slavs, a lot of times Slavic people, because if you look at, for example, like if you look at the Nazi occupation of France and you look at the Nazi occupation of Poland, for example, both of those are very different. So even though the Nazis had been occupying both countries, they had occupied both France and Poland, the occupation of Poland was so much more brutal than France. That's not to say that they didn't do bad things in France too, but the reason that the Nazis were just so oppressive in Poland towards Polish people, but they weren't as oppressive towards the French, is because the Nazis saw the French as possibly to Germanize. So basically, what their plan was that, you know, Western Europeans, they would Germanicize over time. So like the French, the Dutch, the Belgians, you know, for example, I'm trying to think of who else they occupied. Yeah, Dutch, French, Belgians, the Norwegians. Those people, they were going to Germanicize them over time. What that means is that they were going to basically force them to speak German, you know, read and speak German, and they were going to destroy their cultures. But they weren't largely going to kill them. Where in Eastern Europe it was different. In Eastern Europe, they never had plans to Germanicize the Slavic population. They saw Slavs as inferior. So where they saw, you know, Western Europeans as potentially German, they saw Eastern Europeans inferior to them. That's why the Nazis were so much more oppressive towards Slavs. Like their Eastern European occupation, like Poland, the Soviet Union, like even the Balkans, like Yugoslavia, they were just so much more brutal there because they did not see Slavs as equal to them. They saw Slavs as inferior to them, and their plan was, you know, Lebensraum, Hitler's living space, that they were going to colonize Eastern Europe and they were going to, you know, enslave, kill the Slavic population, and anyone else they were going to deport past the Ural Mountains. That was the plan for Eastern Europe. So, you know, if the Nazis had ended up winning, you know, they would have basically killed pretty much every single Slavic person in Eastern Europe. So they would have killed all Polish people, Ukrainians, Belarusians, Russians. They would have killed all the Balkan people. They would have killed the Serbs, Slovenes. The only one they probably might have spared is they might have spared the Croatians, because the Croatians were a fascist country that was allied with them, even though they were Slavics as well. They might have spared the Slovakians also, because the Slovakians were another fascist state that was allied with them, but they were Slavic. But, you know, pretty much everyone else, you know, I forgot the Czechs. The Czechs were going to be killed too. So it was yeah, so a lot of people don't know that, for example, that the Nazis had planned to pretty much kill the entire Eastern European population. That's what they would have done. Let me see. You're a good driver, thank you. Okay, nearly 9 kilometers, or more, a little bit more than 9 kilometers. I've seen Eastern Europeans online with Nazi beliefs. It's ironic, and I will tell you something, is, you know, an Eastern European that is a neo-Nazi is probably the stupidest people on this planet, because literally they are worshiping an ideology that calls for their own genocide. Like literally, there's like I don't understand how any Slavic person could possibly support like Nazism, when like literally Nazism had said that Slavs were inferior and that the Slavic people were an inferior race, and you know so I don't understand how any Slavic person could honestly support Nazis. So that's what I say, is that they're like the biggest idiots on the planet. Is like the Nazis would have killed all Slavic people. So these people are like idiots. Pro, in Nazi-occupied Poland, how many Polish people would they round up if a German was killed? It really depends on where it happened. If it happened in like a village, they would probably kill everybody in the village, just everybody. So every single Polish person. So like if a Nazi soldier was killed by, you know, the Polish resistance, they would do mass reprisal attacks. So for example, there are pretty disturbing signs out there, but. There's one game that I played called 63 Days, and 63 Days is a Polish game. I did play it on the channel about a year and a half ago, it's a World War II game. It's a co-op World War II game, but it's stealth mostly. So it's, if you get caught, you're pretty much dead. But in that game, it's made by a Polish studio, and you play as the Polish resistance. And in that game, you can find like a lot of documents and like propaganda posters and stuff like that. And the interesting thing about that is that all of the documents that you find, like all the collectibles, they're all real World War II things. So they're actual documents, they're actual like posters and stuff like that you find. But one of the posters in the game, it says that 100 Polish people are to be executed for one German. And that was a real poster. That was not something that was made up. That was a real poster. You can even, do the Google Lens thing, and retrace that image to the original source. But that's basically what happened. Just imagine that one German soldier will be killed by the resistance, and what the Nazis would do is they would round up 100 random Polish people off the streets and just publicly execute them, just kill them all in reprisal attacks. And that's what the terror was like in Poland. And so that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that yes, Nazi occupation in France was bad also, but it wasn't as bad as the occupation in Poland. In Poland, they were just so much more brutal than they were in France. It's what a lot of people they don't know. Like in Poland, there was just much more terror that happened than in France. So that is that's just some of the more disturbing things you can read about history. Why did the Nazis see Slavs as inferior? The Nazis believed that Slavs were Asians. They did not think that Slavs were Europeans. They thought that Slavs had come from Asia, and they did not think that they were Aryan. That's basically the whole backstory. They thought they were like a barbaric, people. They thought they were Asians, and they did not think that they were, white Europeans. I'm going through depression too and anxiety, and Pro's videos massively help me, particularly on the bad days. The GTA Godfather games are my GTA and Godfather games are my favorite, but love all his playthroughs. Thank you, Steph. What happened to Tatars? Well, the Nazis had seen them as inferior as well, but a lot of the Tatars were killed off by Stalin. Like they were deported from Crimea, and they were sent to and they were deported to eastern parts of Russia. Come on, that was a bit of a drive here. Greetings from Liberty City. Can I offer you my Batsu monstrosity? Thank you, Guilted. Do I like airsoft? I did when I was younger, but I just cannot get into it anymore, so I can't anymore today. Ever heard of the Ustashi and the Chetniks? The Chetniks, those were Serbians that had worked with the Nazis, I think. And then they ended up, I think some of them ended up fighting against the Nazis later on. The Ustasha, that was the fascist party that was in Croatia. They did some pretty nasty things. They did some pretty horrific things. I know the leader of the Ustasha, I think that was Ante Pavlich. I think that was him. He had fled to Spain after the war, where Franco gave him sanctuary. correct? Oh, thank you, Enthusiac. I guess I got it right then. How do you reply to so many viewers at the same time? I'm just used to it. I'm used to multitasking. When I was in retail, I would talk to 3 people at once. That's how I did things in retail. So I'm used to talking to multiple people at the same time. Any countries have a lack of border checkpoints? Well, most of Europe, in most of Europe, like between European countries, there really isn't that many checkpoints. EU nationals just freely enter other countries. What about Africa? Well, what about it? What are you, what's your question? Well, Northern Ireland didn't have really the checkpoints because of the Good Friday Agreement. That's basically the backstory on that. Do I think Truman is one of the best presidents of all time? Oh yeah, I think Truman is probably the most underrated American president. Like he's an American president that not a lot of people remember, but Truman did a lot of good for our country. So I think that Truman was a great president. And here's the thing is Truman was the first American president that put his foot down and basically said no to the Soviets. So that was it. So he was really the first American president that stood up to the Soviets. Like areas in Africa don't have country checkpoints. That's because in a lot of African countries there's a lot of civil wars, and there's also a lack of government power in a lot of areas. Do I have a degree? I have a degree in law enforcement technology. What's your opinion on parents that do stuff like set times for their kids to eat? They get mad at criticism no matter how you say it, acting like everything is theirs, you don't own anything, stuff like that. What's it called? Well, I will tell you is that sometimes some parents, thank you, Blinded Eagle. Sometimes some parents, they just get way too some parents get way too controlling. I remember there was this viral video that went around like 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't remember what ended up happening to the kid. I have to look it up to see what happened to the kid, but there was this kid that made a living playing Fortnite. So like that's what this kid actually did. So like this kid made money. He made pretty good money. He was like this kid was like early high school, I think he was like 9th, 10th grade, like around there. But so this kid had made pretty good money playing Fortnite. He was like in these Fortnite tournaments and stuff like that. I don't remember how it works. The only thing I remember, he was like in some big competition on Fortnite, and he made a bunch of money like on that. Like he had enough money that he could go to college if he wanted to. So he was making like thousands of dollars from just playing this game, and he was doing pretty good. And what ended up happening is he had a live stream planned, and there was like a tournament on a specific day. And his dad, I remember, had told him that, we're going to visit our other family members, like, today, right now, or something like that. And he told his dad, it's like, no, I can't go. I have a tournament right now. This is, how I make money and stuff like that. So this is like a tournament that was worth thousands of dollars. And so he was going to play in that tournament. He was scheduled to play in that. And the dad is like, no, we're going to go see our, family members right now, or go somewhere. And he's like, no, I can't. And the dad gets, like, so pissed that the dad just smashes his TV, he smashes his computer, his console, everything, just destroys all of it, his entire recording setup, like the whole thing. And there was like what pissed me off about that whole thing was there was like a lot of comments where the people were defending the dad. Like there's a lot of psychopaths. They were like defending the dad in the comments, saying, oh, you know, the dad was right, the kid wasn't listening to him, you know, he said we gotta go visit our other family members and stuff like that, blah blah blah. But here's what they don't understand: that kid was making a living off of playing Fortnite. He was making a living off of playing those tournaments. It's not like he wanted to, you know, get out of some responsibility or something like that. It's at that specific time he was playing that tournament, so he could not go. And secondly, people were saying in the comments, oh, the dad paid for all that stuff, so the dad can smash it all if he wants. That's not how that works. Even if you pay for something, if for example, if I pay for a PlayStation and I buy you a PlayStation, right, and it's now yours, it's your property. So even though I bought it for you and I gave it to you, it's your property now. If I come into your room and I smash it, even though I was the one who paid for it, now it's yours because I gave it to you. That's a crime. And secondly, that kid paid for all that stuff on his own. The dad did not pay for that stuff. The dad didn't pay for the computer, he didn't pay for the console, he didn't pay for all the streaming stuff, all that setup that he had. He paid for all of that from his Fortnite tournaments. And so that dad had by no means any right to smash that kid's stuff. He had no right to smash that stuff. That was just, you know, complete power trip ego and just, you know, complete out of control. And I remember, like, the kid uploaded a video crying, saying how his dad destroyed his channel, and he was, like, saying, like, he's like, I hate my dad, I cannot stand him and stuff like that. And, like, a lot of people felt bad for the kid. And so, like, me personally, like, I can't stand, you know, parents like that, like, really controlling parents do stuff like that. Like, I don't understand, like, what can come across you that you get so pissed off that you just decide to just, you know, smash your entire, you know, your kid's, like, you know, console, your kid's computer, all of your kid's stuff. Like, I don't understand that. It's one thing when there's really bad kids, but there was no, and I'm not even saying that that's right in that situation, but there's no proof that this was a bad kid or by any means, like, a troublemaker. This was just a kid, he couldn't go with his dad at a specific time because he had a tournament, and the dad got so pissed, he decided to basically just smash all his stuff. And, you know, the thing is what the thing about these parents is that these parents don't even realize this is the best way to make your kids hate you. Like, you know, doing stuff like this is the best way to make your kids hate you, is that doing crap like this. Is like literally when the kids grow up and they become adults, and then the parents are like old and they expect someone to take care of them, they shouldn't expect those kids to take care of them, you know, when they treat their kids just like that. That's basically what I'll say, like that the parents shouldn't be surprised when their kids hate them when they become adults. So that's it. So, like, sometimes I look at stuff like that and I'm basically like thinking to myself, like, do these parents want their kids to hate them? Like, is that it? Like literally, do you want your kids to hate you? Because I cannot imagine anything worse than that, like being a parent, like your child hating your guts, like absolutely despising you. I cannot imagine a worser feeling being a parent, that your child despises you. Like that must make any parent feel like crap. But that is, when did it happen? This happened like years ago. Just go on Google and like look up, like, you know, father smashes like kids Fortnite setup and stuff like that. It was like a case that like went viral and stuff like that. And here's the thing is, that kid, that dad broke the law 100%. That is vandalism. That is vandalism. Everything that he did doing that's vandalism. That kid could charge that dad if he wants. I don't know if the kid ended up pressing charges against the dad, but that is pretty much vandalism. So, like, and like I said, what really pissed me off about that story was the fact that there were people defending the dad, like, you know, saying like, oh, you know, the kid should have been listening to the dad, and the dad was right to break all this stuff and all this, you know, this other crap. Is no, the dad did not have the right by any means to do that stuff. He didn't have the right to do it. Okay, does anyone else need your help selling? Invite me here. Oh, hey, Thomas Hughes, how are you doing, dude? Oh yeah, we play Hell Let Loose together. Hey. It's his own house, but is it not destruction of property? It's still destruction of property. Here's what people don't understand. It's like I said. It does not matter if you live under the same roof as someone. If you live in somebody else's house, right? That person can kick you out of your house. That's true. So if you're living with somebody and they let you stay with it doesn't matter if this is your dad, your friend, family member, whoever this is. If you are living in somebody's house, they can kick you out at any moment that they want. So they can basically tell you got to pack your stuff and you got to get out. What they cannot do is they cannot just break all your stuff at once. They can give you a time frame and they can tell you, oh, you know, you got to get out and you got to leave, but they cannot come in and break your stuff. So, and like I said, is even if parents pay for something, even if you buy somebody a gift, you know, if you buy somebody a new computer, right, and you give it to that person, and then you come into their room and you smash all their computer, that's still illegal. It doesn't matter that you paid for it. because you gave it to that person, so it's that person's property at that point. That's what people, they don't understand about that. They think, oh, because the parents would pay for something, they have the right to smash it. It's not true. That's not how that works. My parents would just take away my controllers if I was being punished. It made no sense to destroy the setup. That was a pure uncontrolled rage, and the dad should be in a mental ward. Yeah. Yeah, I never had anything like that happen to me when I was a kid. I never really got in trouble when I was a kid. I remember there was just what was it, a few times in middle school when I had gotten a low grade on a quiz. My mom just did not let me play PlayStation for a couple days. That was the main punishment. I just couldn't play PlayStation for a couple days. But it was never like I never had some psycho thing where a parent would destroy all my stuff. Nothing like that ever happened. My parents weren't like that. And I'm grateful my parents weren't like that. I joined the membership of the channel. Thanks for being cool. Thank you, Gone Dev. And Thomas, I will do a stream of Hell Let Loose one day. One day I'll do it on the channel. What would happen if he then beat up his son? Well, then that is way worse. That is assault and battery at that point. That is assault and battery, and that is a very serious charge. And when that happens, the dad is getting a felony. That is a felony. Especially beating up a child. That's very much a felony. And the child would be taken away from the dad. The dad would probably never see the child again at that point. So you are saying that parents can't take away things from their kids when they misbehave, even if they gave it to their kids? No, they can take away stuff. They can do that. So like for example, I said my mom, she took away my PlayStation 2, when I was a kid. But what parents can't do is they can't just come into their kid's room and just smash all their stuff, like their TV and their console and their computer. They can't do that, even if they bought for it, paid for it for them. They can't do stuff like that. Like on Judge Judy episodes, the owner breaks down the person when she had rent. The owner break down the person. You mean what? That breaks into their place? Wait, what do you mean, Brandon? Breaks down their door. Oh well. Look, a landlord cannot come into a property when they want. They cannot do that. It doesn't matter that the landlord is the one who owns the property. A landlord can't come into a property whenever he or she feels like it. It's not how it works. It's not how the law works. And here's the really unfortunate thing about this is that there are so many tenants out there that do not understand rental laws at all, and they think that they are absolutely at the mercy of the landlord when this does not work. So look, here's the thing is, and I'll tell you guys that I'll give you guys some advice as a landlord, because I own 2 rental properties. And I can tell you this is a landlord cannot just show up unannounced at the property. So you cannot just If for example you're just home, you're at your house that you're renting out, and the landlord just shows up at the door, just rings the doorbell and says, "I need you to let me in." No, that it's not how that works. It doesn't matter that the landlord's on the deed, that it's his property. He cannot just show up unannounced and then just come into the property. Now, if the landlord just happens to knock on the door and say like, "Hey, can I come in and talk to you," and stuff like that, and you let them in, there's nothing illegal about that. The landlord can come in at that point if you let them in. But if they are trying to force their way into the house and they show up unannounced, they can't do that. It doesn't matter that they own the house, they can't do that. Now, a landlord can do inspections on the house, but it's a case-by-case basis. It depends on specific states. Every state has different laws, but typically it'll be like 24, 48-hour notice. So they could give you like a 1-2 day notice, and they could say like, "Hey, in 2 days from now, I'm going to come over to inspect the property," or something like that. At that point, they can just come into the property. They can do that. But they cannot, just show up unannounced and just say, "Oh, I want to come into the property." A lot of tenants, they don't know this, and they basically just let the landlord take advantage of them, and they let the landlord come into the property. But I will say probably the number one law that tenants probably don't know about landlording, about rentals, is that if you have some kind of problem with your rental, right? Something breaks, like something goes wrong. I remember there was a guy that I played with on DMZ once on Modern Warfare 2, and this guy that I played with, he lives in Ohio, And I don't know what the laws are like in Ohio, but he told me about how he was renting out the house that he lives in. He rents out the house, and he told me about how like there were several instances in the house, like the toilet broke, the toilet wouldn't work. He said that there was like problems with the pipes. But he told me that whenever there was any kind of problem, the landlord would not fix it. So he would text the landlord, and the landlord wouldn't fix it. And what the guy would do is he would go out of his way and fix the problem himself. So he would actually he knew how to fix stuff on his own. He was like a handyman, so he would just fix stuff around the property. But I told him that he did not need to actually do all that stuff himself. He didn't need to do that, and he didn't really know that. So I don't know the exact law in Ohio, but in almost all the states, even in the pro-landlord states, even in the states that favor landlords, there is a general law that if something breaks in the property, the landlord has to take care of it, and the landlord has to fix it. The only time the landlord is not responsible for fixing an issue is if it's the tenant's fault. So, for example, if like a tenant is like stupid and like they kick a dishwasher, for example, like they kick the dishwasher and it like breaks all the gears and stuff like that, and there's proof that they kicked it, the landlord wouldn't be responsible for that because it would be the tenant. They were stupid. But if the dishwasher just breaks on its own, there was like nothing malicious in that, the landlord is responsible for fixing that. And if the landlord does not fix this issue, then the landlord typically has around 2 weeks to fix the issue, and you have to give them notice. And the best way to give them notice is to send them a text message. The text message is the best way because then they cannot disprove a text message. They can't say, oh, I never told me or something like that. It's your word against theirs. So don't ever tell them by phone. Don't ever, contact them by phone and say like, oh, hey, the pipes are broken in this house or something like that. If something breaks in your rental property, you text them. And then if you want, call them after. But first you text them and you say, hey, the toilet broke, or hey, the pipes broke, or the dishwasher or the refrigerator, whatever it is, broke. You text them and you say, hey, when can you fix this, and stuff like that. Don't necessarily be rude about it, but just, hey, this broke, can you please fix it? And if they ghost you, because a lot of landlords do this, if they ghost you and they ignore you and they don't want to fix the issue, if 2 weeks passes, because there's a specific time limit on each state, it's around 2 weeks in a lot of states, but some states have it a little different. If the time passes and the landlord still refuses to fix the problem, what you can do at that point is you can hire a handyman. And you can have the handyman come into the rental property and they can fix the problem. Fix the toilet, the dishwasher, the microwave, whatever is broken that the landlord refuses to fix. And then what you can do is you can take the amount that you used to pay that handyman and you can deduct that from your rent for the expenses. And if the landlord tries to argue with you and say, no, you have to pay the full rent, you can tell the landlord, no, I have given you notice. Several weeks have passed and you have not fixed this issue, and so I took it upon myself to fix the problem. And if you take this to court, if you take this to small claims court and you show the court the text messages and you tell the court, look, I sent text messages to this landlord repeatedly, he ghosted me, he would not fix the problem, and so I couldn't live with this. I needed a dishwasher in my house, I needed a microwave, a refrigerator, whatever the problem was, like something that's necessary. Then most courts will side with you, even in states where landlords are it's landlord friendly. Like my state is very landlord friendly, and even in my state the courts will side with the tenant if they show like evidence of this and say this. But that's the problem, is that a lot of tenants, they don't know these laws. They don't know that like you can deduct a lot of the repairs from your rent. But in order to do that, you have to give the landlord proper notice. You have to tell the landlord, hey, this is broken, send them a text message. And if they take like a couple weeks, and a couple weeks later the issue is still broken and they're not fixing it and they're ghosting you, you can just have the issue fixed on your own, and then you can just deduct it from your rent. You can just do that. Well, a lot of people, they don't know that, and they let the landlord take advantage of them. That's basically it. Let's see. Can you also be formal when it comes to fixing this stuff? You should always start off any conversation being nice, being nice and formal. There's I remember that what was it? One of the best lines that I think I've ever heard is if anybody has ever watched that movie Gran Torino. Gran Torino, it's such a great movie, the 2008 movie. But I remember in Gran Torino, the barber, the Italian barber, he's giving like Tao some advice on life, and he tells him to be polite but don't kiss ass. That's what he says. Be polite but don't kiss ass. And I think that is probably like one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard in a movie, and that's basically how it says. Be polite but don't suck up. That's basically what. I hear Ayaka's parents passed away a couple years ago. That's so sad. Oh, I'm sorry, Ayaka. I'm sorry,
And we have a sink.
I'm sorry, you have my condolences. I am a moneymaker in GTA. My cousin loves PvP, and we argue about it. I got 164 million, and he only wants 10 million from Cayo. Any advice, pro? Thank you for sponsoring my channel for 3 years. What do you mean he only wants 10 million from Cayo? Well, look, here's the thing no, when a lot of people, how a lot of people like play their games is you're not really necessarily going to change people's views on how people play their games. So if you're like because that's what they find enjoyable. Like your cousin finds PvP in the game enjoyable. I don't find it enjoyable personally. And so, I mean, I'm assuming he's not a griefer, right? You said he enjoys PvP, so I'm assuming he's just the PvP, not the griefing. But it's if somebody enjoys PvP, it's going to be very difficult to just get them into grinding and doing co-op stuff, because if they like killing people, they're almost never going to be into like grinding and doing stuff like that. Like it's the same thing on DMZ. Like when I played DMZ on Modern Warfare 2, because on DMZ there's basically like on DMZ there's 2 types of players on DMZ. And if anybody here has played DMZ, you know exactly what I'm talking about. On DMZ, there's 2 types of players. There's the first type of player that likes doing the missions, and they like getting money in the game. And then there's a second type of player that's likes killing everyone, just hunting squads down, trying to find people, constantly killing people. And I'm one of those people that likes to do co-op stuff. But occasionally I have people that join my squad, and the people that join my squad, all they want to do is run around and kill people. And I don't want to do that. And then they start complaining to me and causing a scene. That I'm not helping them kill players when that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to do missions. So that like I said, is that if your cousin really likes PvP, it's gonna be very difficult to actually change their mind. Keep up the good work, pro. Thank you, Mr. Tay Daniel. I'm only 56 subs until I reach 1,000 subscribers on my channel. Oh, okay. Can you guys help Starlight Shane out? He's almost at 1,000 subscribers there. Are you gonna see the movie Pressure? It's about General Eisenhower deciding whether to launch a D-Day invasion facing a critical weather forecast. When does this movie come out? First time I'm hearing about it. What if Spain joined World War II? Well, Spain was kind of active in World War II, even though they were neutral. They were kind of more allied with Germany. Spain did send volunteers to help Germany against the Soviet Union. You are the nicest human ever, pro. Thank you, Thomas. Crap, okay. Lose these cops here. I know about DMZ. I'm like you doing missions. Yeah, and I like missions too.
Which one of my skills is required? Okay,
May 29th, it has Brendan Fraser in it, who's one of my favorite actors. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into this movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing the George Washington movie that's going to be coming out in July. That one I'm really looking forward to. I saw the thumbnail of your health. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, dude. I just uploaded that video the other day, the mental health like channel update video, to let people. It was more to let people know that I was okay, because there was a lot of people, like so many people that just messaged me and asking me if I was okay. It was like right after that video with the PvP, like because in the PvP video I kind of had like a little bit of a breakdown in that video. And I'm normally a pretty calm guy, but in that video I was kind of breaking down because it was like this years of just me getting harassed, and I was just so sick of it. And I was just talking about how toxic some people are and they ruin the game, and it was just me basically letting off a lot of steam on a lot of these people that always harass me on the game. And normally, a lot of people got freaked out by that video because I'm normally very calm in my videos. I'm normally, hold all my emotions in. I'm not a really reacting guy. But in that video, I was kind of really upset because it just I've been playing GTA Online for years and getting harassed, and I made that mental health video, health update channel update video the other day, just to let people know that I was okay. And there was just a video that I was just blowing off some steam and just letting people know, like, you know, what I hate about the PvP in the game. Do I think Fallout 76 story was wasted potential? I liked some of the other storylines better than the main storyline. Like, I like the Skyline Valley storyline, the DLC storyline. I like the Burning Springs storyline. I like those two. I did like the Raider storyline also. So like all of the storylines are pretty good in Fallout 76, except for the main one. The main one was kind of boring, but the other storylines, the DLC storylines, were actually pretty good. Is GTA Online the most toxic game community, in your opinion? No. As toxic as GTA Online is, I've seen more toxic people in other games. Like, if anybody's played DMZ, like, I've seen a lot of really toxic people on DMZ before. Like, I've seen pretty badly. So probably DMZ is the other one. Take care, Pat. I like your stream. See you on Friday for Red Dead Redemption 2, unless you stream on Wednesday. Thank you, Brandon. I'll probably stream on Wednesday, going back to Yakuza Kiwami 1 and finishing it up. Okay, Mr. Tay, this will be the last business that I help you sell, and then I'll start selling stuff. James, are you still here? You told me that you needed help with your heist, right? I can help you with that. You know what I think is probably the most friendliest online game that I think I've ever seen. Like, it's such a friendly, peaceful, non-toxic online game. Like, it's so chill. Even I would say it's probably Fallout 76. I think a lot of us can agree Fallout 76 is probably the least toxic online game. And the reason that Fallout 76 is so friendly is because it's Fallout players. And Fallout players are typically, you know, very mature players. They're not really aggressive, not really toxic. Where, like, there's a lot of GTA Online players that are just really chaotic. And really unstable. But Fallout players are generally very, you know, friendly, very kind people. The Fallout community is very friendly. Like, Fallout 76 is such a friendly game that, like, in Fallout 76, I've had it happen several times where I'm playing with, like, randoms. It's not, they don't even recognize me from my YouTube channel, but, like, I'm playing with randoms, and they join my team, and they just give me, like, hundreds of stim packs. They give me hundreds of stim packs, a lot of guns, you know, ammunition, stuff like that. Like, just drop stuff like that, and they don't even expect anything in return. And they help you out with your quests and stuff like that. Like, they'll follow you around, help you out. Fallout 76 is probably the most friendliest online community that I've seen. The developers, Bethesda, even said that they were so surprised that people were so friendly on the game, considering that it was a post-apocalyptic game. But yeah, Fallout 76 probably is the isn't that game also co-op focused? Kind of, but you can also fight other players. So it's really hard to grief people on that game. But yes, you can, you know, fight other people. How did you install the historical accuracy mod on Call of Duty World at War, and do you need to have the Steam version of Call of Duty World at War or another version? It's the Steam version that you need. I remember that I had my friend help me install it, Fresh Hasty, because that was like a year and a half ago when that happened. One of my friends in real life, he's like really good with computers, and I asked him if he could help me install it, and he helped me out with that. Okay, then, James, can you invite me to that, or you're selling your bunker? Okay, Who's worse, Steve Haynes or Devin Weston? Ugh. Probably Devin Weston because he has more influence and power. How many cars do you have in real life? One. Look, my car is from 2013, and I'm still driving it. The way that I look at cars is cars are just something to get me from point A to point B. So that's, I have no plans to buy a new car. I will drive my car until it runs into the ground, until it's like, I can't drive it anymore, until it's like, the engine dies, or like the car breaks down, and it's too expensive to fix. At that point, I'd get rid of it, but... What was one story bit in GTA 4 that you absolutely don't like? Oh, that's easy. One part of GTA 4 story that I didn't like. I didn't like Ray's death in GTA 4. I thought it came out of nowhere. It was like you worked for Ray. Like Ray was such a big character. Like he was one of the main characters. Like he appeared in so many missions. It was like a quarter of the missions in the entire game. I'd say like probably 25% of the missions in all GTA 4 Ray appeared in, or he had some role in them. So it was like this was not a small character by any means. And like the way he just died. It's so stupid. Like, it was just like, he didn't even get a cutscene when he died, not even an execution. Like, all the other GTA characters got an execution. Ray didn't get an execution kill. It was just like, he's just there, he gets into his car, you kill him, and that's it. It was like such a lazy designed mission. Like, it's probably the worst mission in GTA 4. It was like such a stupid mission. It's like Ray just gets into his car and you just kill him. That was it. I never liked that mission. The Ray's death one was the worst part of the game. As someone who's dealt with mental health issues, you're nothing if you're not happy in life. Yeah, that is true. Happiness is very important. Thank you for the super chat, Ferris. James, are you almost done? How is getting your driver's license old? That was a long time ago. That was 14 years ago. But it's nothing to sweat about. Like, I wasn't really nervous during it. I just played, I just drove normally how I practiced with my father, and I passed. The PvP fix for GTA 6 is to have lobbies where it's off and on and zone-based. You don't blow up people's cargo, you steal it. Cargo is found in the world. Bad neighborhoods and remote areas are PvP zones. Yeah, that would add more role-playing to it, and I would agree with you on that, NK Gentleman. And you know what I really wish? I really hope that with GTA 6, that we can actually have our own servers that we can actually host. Like, not just like the private, invite-only sessions that we have, but like have our own servers. Like, that's actually our server. And like, even if there was like a fee to pay for it, like I would pay for it. I would pay for my own server. Like I would make it like a public server, so like anybody can join the public server. And what I would do is I would give like all of my friends like admin powers. And what would happen is, the servers would just be primarily to help people out, make money on GTA 6. But if anybody comes into the server at any time, and that person is like toxic, and that person starts blowing up cargo or like doing bad crap, permanent ban. And they would ban their IP address, and they can never rejoin. Like, I wish we could have something like that. And that's it. And they can't join ever again. So I hope we can actually like have our own personal servers on GTA 6, stuff like that. I think that would be good. You on 5M? Well, I played 5M for the first time yesterday, actually. NK Gentleman. I do Def. I have played a lot of the Assassin's Creed games. I just haven't played them on the channel. I only play Assassin's Creed 1 on the channel. James, are you almost done? When you played older GTA games, did you play it on a CRT TV? Oh, I'm sorry, Soviet man, I'm confused. CRT TV? What do you mean by that? I guess I just probably don't know the full thing. My Jeep is from 2015. It's paid for. No payments. Yeah, and that's good. You own your vehicle completely. I never liked the idea of I have never liked the idea of borrowing money for a car. I've never liked the idea of that because it's like you don't fully own the car until you pay it off. I've never liked that idea. So and then leasing is even stupider. Like leasing, like I don't recommend anyone lease. No one should ever lease. Don't ever do that. Never. If you're gonna pay for a car, buy the car. Don't ever lease the car. And you don't need like a $40,000 car. People think you need a $40,000 car. You don't need a $40,000 car. There is there's plenty of used cars that you can buy that are really good. It's just people are always obsessed with all the new cars. You don't need that. I drive a car from 2013. I'm happy with it. So that's it. So that's basically what I'll say about that, is that you don't need all these newer cars and all this junk that they throw into cars. I understand that not everyone can just pay for a car, that they need to get a loan, but there's plenty of cars that you can buy that are not necessarily like the greatest condition of cars, like a few $1,000s, and those cars will get you around. They'll get you from point A to point B. I do a bit of arms and legs at the gym. Well, a lot of the cars are pretty old in the GTA games. Yeah, that's true. Is there a way to AFK without getting kicked? Yeah, just put your controller down and make your character walk around in circles with the controller down. You shouldn't get kicked for that. James, are you almost done? Would I lease a GPU? What, for a computer? No. I would not lease anything. I'll see you, Alex. Get a used Japanese car like Toyota, Honda, or Subaru, because they actually last unlike American cars. Yeah, I guess there's that. James, what's going on? Are you almost done? Yeah, who would lease their GPU? That is a bit weird. Yeah, and companies don't want you to own things. They don't want you to own your house. They don't want you to own your car. When does it get released, Victorious? It looks like they're finishing up their bunker shipment. Okay. Have I ever bought extended mags for the M1 carbine? I don't own an M1 carbine. I'd like to one day, but I don't own it. Yeah, I know they're still selling. Your thoughts on property tax? I've never liked property tax. I think property tax is stupid, and I think property tax is un-American because it's like you don't even own your house. It's like you have to pay rent to the government, because if you don't pay the property tax, the government's gonna take it. So I never liked. I don't think property tax should exist. I never liked the idea of it. What the? What the hell? Oh, it's from their sale. Okay, I was a bit confused. It was from their gun running sale. I was confused what that was. You're a good guy, Pro. Stay true to your beliefs. Thank you. James, can you invite me to your business now? I know both parties support property taxes, Isaiah. I checked out a Vice City mod called Backstar Blues. Puts a new view on Lance during Vice City and makes you feel bad for him. Also, I'd play Assassin's Creed 3 for the 250th, yeah, 250th anniversary of the Revolution, or the Declaration of Independence, on July 4th this year. July 4th is going to be crazy. Yeah. July 4th this year is really going to be crazy. It's going to be a 250th anniversary of America. Well, it depends. In some states, the government can take your property tax. Yes, they can. Or they can take your property. I played all the Infamous games. Yeah, your property tax is pretty high in Texas, but it's not as bad as New York. New York's property taxes are something else. Like, I moved to the Midwest from New York, and here in the Midwest, people complain about a $4,000 property tax in the Midwest. But in New York, where my parents live, my parents' property tax is $18,000 a year, not $14,000. It's $18,000 a year. It's insanity. That is and about that property tax, that is that my parents don't live in a mansion. They don't live in a fancy house. They live in a 1950s middle-class home. But that's what the property tax is like. Thoughts on the UFC White House event? I don't know. I'm not into UFC, Blind Eagle. Love the content. Wish I can play GTA Online with you, but I play PC only. Well, when GTA 6 comes out, we can probably play Justin Ramos, because they'll probably have crossplay then. James, are you ready? What's going on? James, can you invite me? Oh, property taxes in Chicago are really bad. Is that where you're from, NK gentlemen? Well, I know that they rose. They rose. They got even bigger in Chicago. I don't know. What is he doing? I'll ask him, but I'm just waiting for his invite, Zom. He's not inviting me. Yeah, Midwest is, we get a lot of snows, but didn't you say we get snow, but didn't you say you're from Hokkaido, Japan? In Hokkaido in Japan, Hokkaido, Japan is the snowiest place on the planet. A lot of people don't think of Japan as being the snowiest country on Earth, but it actually is. Specifically, Hokkaido is the snowiest part of the entire planet. At what time do you go to sleep? Oh, last night I went to sleep at 7 o'clock in the morning. Because I was recording a video of Wanted, you know, the other GTA YouTuber. I was recording a video of him, and he lives in Australia, and so I'm in most of the Wanted guys are in Australia, and I'm in Central U.S. time, and so that was the time that we could work on the video together. But Hokkaido doesn't really border Russia. You're thinking of Sakhalin Island, which is north of it. Pat, do I feel Polish? If you're asking me, do I identify as a Polish man? No. You know, I'm an American. That's my identity. My nationality is American. My ancestry is Polish. Sure, my parents are from Poland, but I feel American. I have citizenship in Poland, so I guess I can identify as Polish nationally if I wanted to. But I see myself as American primarily. I don't think I could live in Poland personally. I don't think I would fit in. It's just, you know, different culturally than America. Okay, guys, listen up. Because we're running this with 4 people, if we get detected, we're just going to keep going. You hear me? We're not restarting. We're not dropping, you know, charges, because then we're going to keep restarting over and over and over again. If we get caught, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep killing, and we're going to get through the heist and get all this stuff and get out. That's what we're going to do. So if we get caught, we're just going to fight our way out. No more no restarting, because then it's going to be an endless amount of times restarting. Okay, let's do it. Would I visit Poland? I visited in 2010. It's not that they necessarily saved Max's life. It was just a result of their war with the other families, to the DeMarcos. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. I'll see you, Ferris. Take care, man. On a par 54 course, I shot 90 today. Not bad after 10 years of not playing. What, you mean golf? It is possible. I know people that are over ranked 3,000. They're legitimate, so it's possible. Okay, James, I'm ready. Let's do it. James, take the 5% away from me and give it to yourself. I don't need 20%. Take 40% for yourself. I have, you know, over $1 billion in this game. You don't need to give me 20%. Hi, Professional. Hi, Chief. How you doing, dude? Professional sleeping schedule. Look how they butchered my boy. Okay, ready up. Let's do it. I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. Well, I'm gonna play 50 Cent Blood in the Sand when I'm done with Yakuza Kiwami. I'm doing Majima Construction tomorrow. Can anybody give me any recommendations on Majima Construction? You did great on your recent video. Well, thank you, man. Where are you taking us, James? You want to go to the docks here?
Here we are again. There is something special about amphibious landing. The calm before the tropical storm.
Or the airport?
Here, Mr. Romeo's mood these days, the storm is very tropical indeed. I'm starting to think our host has unresolved anger issues. Why don't we give him some more, huh? Now pay attention. You will reach land.
Well, Sosa is definitely one of the most powerful drug lords. He has connection to the Bolivian government.
I will also access lockdown CCTV to see you when you are there.
Yeah, this is the fastest boat in the game. James, what are we doing right now? What's going on, man?
We cannot resist coming back, huh? Like child in candy store. Or as we say in Russia, like child breaking into secure compound, huh?
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Weed, okay.
Remember, cameras everywhere. Almost like Mr. Rubio feels a little paranoid sometimes.
Guys, careful. Please don't rush this. I really don't want to get detected here.
I know the
Wow, you've got to be kidding me. I effing hate this heist.
They do not have helicopters. This was a good preparation.
I don't even know how I got detected just now. I hate this heist so much. It's weed. No, I don't need weed. That's money in there, okay. Okay, nothing in here. There's nothing that valuable in here. Oh, crap. James, where's your boat right now? Crap. Guys, I'm not going to be reading chat for a little bit, so anybody that, you know, makes any comments, I'm not reading right now. I'm just trying to get out of this situation. Somebody picked up weed. I don't know who did that, but it probably wasn't a good idea to do it. Just trying to find the cocaine. Damn, die. Okay, finally. Damn, it's both cash. Where the hell is the damn, where is the damn cocaine? Okay, there's always 2 boxes of cocaine around.
I love this job. Let's make some money.
No cocaine here. Weed too. God damn. Okay, the cocaine isn't here. What I hate about this heist is the alarm is just so sensitive. It's such BS. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna...
That is the power station. I don't think there's much point in disabling the CCTV now.
I'm gonna check to see if there's, the hook is back here. Guys, no, don't pick up the money back there unless it's cocaine. You don't want to get it unless it's cocaine. I was just checking to see if the grappling hook is there, but it's not there. Okay. I haven't seen the Warriors. I'm gonna see it later this year and play through the game. Never killed anyone. James, get into this with me quickly. How does that not knock him off the bike? That's some BS. If that was me, I would have 100% gotten knocked off that bike. That's BS. I don't know how that did not knock him off that bike. God damn it, it's the cash again. Okay. This is ridiculous right now. Trying to find the damn cocaine is gonna be at the last location. We're not going in through the sewer entrance also, or the drainage tunnel. Well, Keyshawn, you weren't following us. I assumed that you were following us. I think I finally found the damn cocaine. Okay. Nice, I finally found the cocaine.
By the way, don't worry about leaving space in your bag for main objective. I have crafted special compartment for it. Cushioned, of course.
There's gonna be one more cocaine. Is that cocaine? It looks like cocaine. Okay, where's the, switch? Hell? Oh, I think I gotta hold this. Oh yeah, that's it. Michael, can you get in there and get that cocaine, please? I need someone to get it. I gotta hold this door open. Okay, there we go. Only get the cocaine, don't get the weed. Well, I guess Pete got the weed too. Hold on, I'll get you guys out of there. Get out now, come on. Is the grappling hook around here? Is it here? Anywhere. I always forget the locations where the grappling hook spawns, but we could really use it. At least there's no helicopters, thank God. Okay. That would have been bad. Just weed in there, okay. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get us a vehicle. Everyone get in the same Jeep so we can just get out of here. Everyone in now. Keyshawn, get in quick. No, Keyshawn, don't take that stuff. We're gonna get the gold in the thing. I just wanted to get the cocaine so that we have some of our bags full. Was there no gold? No, there is gold at the compound, but I wanted to get the cocaine because there's probably not enough gold to take everything. Ah, Keyshawn filled his bag. Oh, this sucks. We're probably not gonna have enough to take the gold now. I don't think he can fit in this. Okay. Keyshawn, you just drive them. I'm gonna take the bike then. Go straight for the compound.
Checkpoint up ahead. After this, the compound.
Crap. Damn, I cannot stand this heist so much. Both the tires got popped. I've got to go and check the... Well, at least the bushes help for one thing. It knocks the enemies off, too. I'm going to check the lighthouse to see if I can find a... grappling hook. Okay, there it is. There's the lighthouse. I really hope the grappling hook is there. So we can use the key cards also, but the grappling hooks gives us more exits. Oh, come on, bike. Stop being crap, bike. That it? Yes. Okay, I got the grappling hook. Okay, perfect. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to be reading chat for just a little bit because I just got to get through this. I do not want to mess this up after all the work we put in here.
Not such good party energy now, huh? Okay.
Come on, I'm driving a bike. Good thing I have experience with motorcycles in this game. I'm better with bikes than I am with cars, even if both my tires are popped. Did you guys get the key card? Did you get one? The guards outside here should drop key cards. You might as well grab a key card. It'll give us an extra exit out. Okay, everyone. James, come over here. Open this door. James, please, you gotta hit this door. James, before more enemies spawn. James, hit the button to open the door, please. Crap. You can go. You can. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm gonna go to the repelling one here. It says it there that you can enter through this area. It's gold, so all James, all you need to do is hit right in the D-pad. Okay. James, what are you doing, dude, right now? James, if you can't open that door, go to the repelling one over here. Go over here. Quickly. I might not even have the voice chat on here, do I? Okay, hang on. James, can you hear me? Hit the repelling entrance before they surround us. Go. Everyone come over here. Michael, get close to this also. James might not have had the charges, so that's maybe why he couldn't go in through the front door.
Over the wall? Good. I have your signal loud and clear.
¡Hasta aquí llegó!
I think the guards are even more angry this time. Now I'm sure you remember the route, yes? To the vault. So, you are at fingerprint scanner. The tool we took from head of cybersecurity will show you fragments from previous scans. You just need to cycle through them to match the target print. And keep an eye out for people trying to kill you. Always worth looking in the safe.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, almost got it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys, get out of that area. Oh no, James is dead. Okay.
Okay, time to move.
Okay. No, now it's gonna okay.
That was close, but you made it. Again.
Keyshawn's dead now too. Okay. Michael, please cover me. Don't let them come over here.
Glass using a plasma cutter. Doing it under machine gun fire. And I should know.
I think we can pick up James's and Keyshawn's loot if we find their bodies. But yeah, like I said, I'm not restarting. So nothing against everybody that died, but I just don't want to keep redoing this heist. So I'm just doing the heist however it goes.
I learned this the hard way. Cutting into undersea pipeline. At least you are above the waterline, yes?
Michael, come over here. Help me open this door, please. Oh, quick, quick. Crap, they're coming.
Shit, more guards. Oh, a large statue of a panther made from precious rocks. For a moment, I was worried this would be inconvenient.
Can we find their bodies? I don't even know where they died.
If you see anything you like on the way out, do not be shy. Help yourself.
We don't got the key. Okay. Michael, crap. No, we don't gotta go out that way. Just ignore it. Come on. Come through the elevator. If we can find their bodies, we can get the money, I'm pretty sure, off their bodies. You can pick up their bags, but I don't know if we'll find their bodies now.
Dije que no se me acerque, gonorrea. No le queda mucho, hijo de puta. Piérdate. Jodas.
Let's see where hold on. Let me see.
Cúbrame.
We're going right because there's less activity. Come on.
Recargar. Hijo de puta.
Crap, not the keys. Okay, come on. This way. Michael, follow me, quick.
A morir, imbécil. Fuck you. Protéjate. Maldita.
Here.
Oirá, hueputa.
That's a nice thing about getting the rappelling equipment. The good thing about this is that you have more ways to get out. Because the worst area to get out is the front door. The front door is the worst area to get out. So no one ever gets the rappelling stuff, but it is good because you can get out in certain areas. The Juggernaut's dead already. Okay. Okay, run.
The compound is behind us, and the hard part is done. Now, do not die on the easy part, yes? Get out of there. Go. Your chosen extraction point is on your GPS now. Main docks. Go.
Hasta aquí llegó. ¡Ah! ¡Cabrón! ¡Órale, hijo de puta!
Just run by foot. Yeah.
The cries of the impotent desperate is beautiful, no?
What's the name of this DLC? Cayo Perico heist. If anybody has ever seen the movie Commando, Cayo Perico is heavily inspired by the movie Commando, where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes on this island where there's this dictator drug lord and has his own private army. It's based heavily on that. It's also based on it's based on a real life island that also exists off the coast of Colombia. Okay.
The water is full of attack boats. You will need to be careful. Well, judging from their comms, it sounds like Mr. Rubio is reaching for his helicopter again.
Crap, there's boats. Watch out. Just keep swimming, we'll make it.
Everyone accounted for. Perfect.
Keep going, keep going. We almost got this. Okay, ooh. Are you guys surprised we got out on that? Oh man, yeah. No problem, James. Okay. Do not get detected. Yeah, about that. Ooh, that was tough, but we got out. Yeah, and I mean, everyone's human. Everyone makes mistakes. So I mean, don't hold it against Keyshawn or James for that, guys. It just happens. But whenever I play Cayo Perico now, I never restart. Whenever I play Cayo Perico, that's always been my policy from now on. So if anybody wants my help on Cayo Perico, I can help you on Cayo Perico. But if we get detected, I'm not restarting. I'm just going through it. Just no matter, because I just so sick of restarting on that heist. So it just happens. I'm just gonna shoot my way through. Yeah, I'll play Modern Warfare 4 online as long as it has DMZ. Yeah, well, no one's perfect, Dragon. But yeah, guys, don't be pissed at James or Keyshawn. It just, things happen. People die in heist. I've died before too, so it just happens. Uh, okay. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna get something to eat here and take a break. Did I know that the Fry Festival is supposed to be hosted on Norman's Cay, Carlos Lecter's private island, but the organizers mentioned Pablo Escobar's ties, so they got the boot. I did not know that. Uh, when do you think we'll get more information on GTA 6? Probably late spring. Is there anything you guys want to ask me before I go, though? Yeah, DMZ was a bit of fun. What's for dinner today? I'll have hamburgers, probably. Anything you guys want to ask me before I head out here? Though I'll answer a few questions before I go. If you guys enjoyed the stream, drop a like. Hi, Wild Cube is here. Hi, Wild Cube. Thank you for coming by today. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude. Great stream as always, Pro. Have a blessed night. Thank you, Long John Silver. Thanks, man. And I think, and honestly speaking, even though that heist could have gone a lot better, I think that the chat likes watching it when the heist doesn't go well, right? I think that probably entertains the chat more, trying to get out of a bad situation. But yeah, Norman, yeah, it is the Island Drifter, kids. My next video tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have a video on the I'll have a video on the GTA Online on the I'll have a video tomorrow on the GTA Online requiring the ID in Australia. I'll have a video talking about that tomorrow. When is the Zero lore video? Later this month, Minion Dave.
I give and I give and I give.
I should Blinded Eagle, you're right. Probably, but I didn't really play that game. I remember there was the guy with the gas mask and the flamethrower in that game also, Gunner. On the 15th, that's going to be what, the Probably not on the 15th, Michael, because it's a Sunday. But if you want to do it any other day, we can work something out.
Came out of nowhere.
Stop whining. PvP is part of the game. Sure, but I have the right to criticize parts of the game. But here's the thing: is blowing yourself up constantly to avoid getting your scorecard down is not part of the game. That's not the intention of Easy Way Out. It's not what Rockstar intended. So maybe that might work better for me, Michael. Okay, guys, so I guess we'll be heading out here. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream today. If you did, do drop a like. It does help me out a lot. No, I did not know that, Gunner. I'll play the new James Bond game, yeah. Yeah, the Majima Construction will be doing that tomorrow. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a